welcome to Libra season. Thanks for tuning in to the Embodied Astrology podcast. My name is Renee, and my readings are channeled messages based on the astrology for your sign in the season ahead. And my goal is to support you in embodying and integrating the most helpful and healing energies at this time. I'm excited to get into your Libra season reading in just a minute, but before I do, I want to ask you to stick around at the end for some information and announcements about what's upcoming at Embodied Astrology and some of the ways you can use the current influences for best benefit, especially when engaging with Libran kinds of things, like relating with yourself and others, and staying connected to your internal sense of center and balance when there might be a lot pulling or pushing at you from different sides. Okay, so stick with me at the end of this reading for those announcements. And then one more thing I want to tell you, which is that I've been taking some time off to reshape and revision some important parts of my life, which is definitely something that this time is asking a lot of us to do. These horoscopes were recorded way back in May in Gemini season, so please let me know how they land for you and what's resonating now in the comments. I do read my comments, and I love and appreciate hearing from you so much. As you tune in with this reading, keep in mind that astrology is an ancient, vast, and multidimensional technology. But sun sign horoscopes are general, and every astrologer has their own lens for interpretation. Not everything I offer will resonate for everyone, so take what works, leave the rest. Always listen to your own intuition and make the meanings that are most meaningful for you. I also want to remind you that horoscope astrology is most accurate for your rising sign. Pro tip though, check your birth chart and see if you have a late degree rising sign. There are 30 degrees to every sign, and if your rising degree is later than 25, I'd recommend also listening to the sign that follows yours. If you have a different rising and sun sign, listen for your sun sign for more information on your general energy, and your rising sign for accuracy with timing, prediction, and thematic content. You can also listen to your moon and Venus placements for insight into your relationships, particularly important this season. If you enjoy my readings, make sure to check out your 2025 Year Ahead Expanded Horoscope. That's over an hour of in-depth exploration of this year's most important astrology for your sign, and those readings are discounted now, but still have so much information that is very relevant to this year and this season ahead. Okay, thank you so much for sticking with me for these announcements, and I am wishing you all the best in Libra season and beyond. So let's get into your reading. Hello Virgo, welcome to Libra season. Libra season gets going on the tail end of a big eclipse. The day before Libra season begins, there is a solar eclipse and new moon that feels particularly impactful because it is in your sign at the very last degree of Virgo. So I feel that as we move into Libra season, a lot of you are very energetically open and porous. Some of you may be in kind of an altered feeling space a little bit. A lot is changing in your lives. Right now, the last couple of months, I think there have been some really big changes, some big aha moments. Your energy is moving in some new and different ways. But the kind of initial momentum of those changes is waning a little bit in certain ways. Or I'll say that it is deepening. It's like you've been going out, and now you need to start coming back in. And Libra season is a time to collect yourself and recollect yourself a little bit and really focus on your needs, taking care of what is practical, and also thinking about what is really important to you, what you want to invest in. I feel like a lot of you have some considerations about your time, your energy, your attention, your resources. You're really wanting to invest in ways that you feel are the most beneficial and serve the causes and the conditions that you most want to grow. And so it does feel like a very intentional time. And I think that a lot of you are feeling pretty, you're motivated with your attention right now. It's like your attention is sharp, and I think that you're trying to get things done in order to prepare yourself for what is to come. As I've talked about over the last couple of months in your readings, you're having your own personal revolution in 2025, and it is extending into 2026. But there are some peak moments in it. And so Cancer, Leo, Virgo seasons in 2025, big peak moments. Then the energy shifts for a couple of months, more than a couple, maybe several. We're going to get into the end of the first quarter of 2026, and then that momentum is going to come back again. So where we are right now is needing to find some balance and recalibrate after everything that has been happening. And there are also some things that you're working on that just need a lot of attention. And your attention is really sharp, it's focused, and you are able to apply yourself pretty effectively right now. Honestly, that feels like the main theme for Libra season for Virgos is like, let's get to work. Let's take care of the details. Some of you are doing some kind of process that feels a little bit like auditing right now. And you're like, is this important to me? No? Okay. Is that important to me? Yes? All right. It's like you're condoing your all of your situations. Marie Kondoing, right? There's a full moon in Aries on October 6th. Aries is a place in your chart that has been getting a lot of activity this year so far. And it's also a place in the chart that is a little bit more difficult for Virgo to work with because it is not always easy to see. It's not always something you are able to see. So this energy is about your we could say it's your subconscious or parts of your psyche or the parts of yourself that are currently transforming and in development, and you might have some inhibitions or insecurities around. There may even be a little bit of a feeling of like taboo, like, oh, I couldn't be like that. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to look at that. This is also a place in your chart that has a lot to do with transformation, personal transformation. And so experiences that really take us into the depths of something and require us to let go of certain aspects of our ego or experiences so that we can be remade in whatever the new form or the new part of our personality is. Finally, this is a part of your chart that also has a lot to do with shared resources. And this could mean shared money, shared time, shared energy. It could be with people who are your partners or collaborators or family members. There are definitely some themes here that have to do with debts and inheritances. So what is shared between generations? But I feel that there's a lot of energy for you right now to make use of what you have been given. And that definitely is true in any kind of situation that would have to do with an inheritance, but also with a debt. So ancestral kind of passage of energy. There's some kind of feeling here that some of you are really wanting to make good use of what you have been given. And so if you've been given a debt, then you want to repay the debt, whatever kind of debt it might be, or you want to clear it out, or maybe you want to figure out how to get out of it, but like let it go somehow. If you've been given an inheritance, you want to do right by that inheritance. You want to take care of that gift. Some of you have gone through experiences that have been incredibly challenging. We're talking dark night of the soul experiences, maybe divorces, deaths, your own psychology, being a person alive. It can be really fucking hard. So you have been through some things that have taught you some things that now you want to make good use of. If you went through a dark night of the soul and you made it through to the other side, then you have some skills. You have some experience. You maybe became like a trauma therapist because of it. Like there's something that came out of what it is that you have been through. And I feel like a lot of you are focused right now on how do you make the most of of experiences that maybe have not always been the easiest, and experiences also that are really complex in their nature. And they require a fair amount of self-reflection. They require internal transformational processes. They require dedication and commitment and really showing up to do the work of something. And you are in it to win it right now, Virgo. I don't know what this means for you, but I really feel that a lot of you are not scared of a little bit of intensity. You really want to get things kind of cleared up, cleared out. You want to deal with things that need to be dealt with. You want to take good care of what might take care of you later. And that's really where your focus is right now. Now, I've said this for many months right now. I probably started saying this to you all in like 2020, but you are really trying to change your life. You want the whole, the whole of your life in some way. It's like you're focused on the details and you want to fine tune the details and you want things to change in a holistic way. So maybe there are certain circumstances where the focus is and it's like, oh, I want my job to change. Oh, I want my health to change or something like that. But I think a lot of you recognize that they're affecting each other. They're really interconnected. And so you need multiple factors of your life to change right now. And over the last, I'm going to say like 5 to 6 months, I think you've been getting a lot of ideas. You may have been changing a lot or integrating some of the ways that you've already decided to change. But something is also starting to happen in Libra season where you're getting really practical about it. And I feel like you're really starting to put pieces in place that allow you to realize and embody and enact this more large scale shift. There is a new moon on the 21st of October in the very last degrees of Libra. This new moon coincides with Mercury beginning its next retrograde phase, starting its shadow period. It doesn't station retrograde until November. But in the shadow period, sometimes some of the themes of the retrograde start to make themselves known a little bit more. Mercury will be stationing retrograde in the sign Sagittarius in November, and it's moving back into the sign Scorpio. Now, Sagittarius is a sign like Virgo that's on the mutable cross, and so it holds a very important place in your chart, which is the root of your chart, the foundation. This is about home, family, a sense of belonging, on a very basic level, your stability. These are big themes for this place. Over the next several months, during Mercury's retrograde from Sagittarius back into Scorpio, I think that a lot of you are rethinking and maybe doing some renovating around your home, your family, your foundation kinds of themes. So that could be totally literal, right? You might literally be doing a renovation. Some of you are like, you're not really sure that you want to be where you are anymore. That could be in a relationship, that could be a location, it could be a structure, and you're thinking that you want to go somewhere else. Some of you are in a spot where you are wanting to take up a different kind of space for yourself. You're wanting to deepen your own foundation. You're wanting to grow your own roots and feel more solid in how you are and what you are doing in your life. And this is going to be the theme of the retrograde. So we'll get into that in Scorpio season, but this is also a period of time when Neptune retrogrades back into your 7th house, the house of committed partnership. Over the last many months, Neptune has been in Aries, and it will move back into Aries next year. Then it will be there for a good long while, but it's been in Pisces since 2011. And Neptune is going to finish out its transit in Pisces at the very last degree of Pisces, which is an important degree with the eclipse that we just had right before Libra season began. And so this certainly is not the case for all Virgos, but some Virgos out there are going through some big changes in partnership, and this has to do with home and family. You and your partner may be deciding to move somewhere. You might be deciding to expand your family. Maybe you are separating or doing something else. And this would be a time when those types of issues would definitely become a little louder and want your attention. And the last thing I'm going to say is that at this new moon, as this Mercury retrograde is starting, or the shadow period is starting, and this Neptune influence is coming back into Pisces, I just want to say, Virgo, that be clear for yourself about what's important to you and what you value, and start with yourself first and foremost. So what is important to you about your own life, about your own life energy? What do you value about you? What do you think are some of the most valuable parts about you? And I want you to answer that for yourself, like not to project the answer onto someone else. Like, oh, well, my husband thinks that the best thing about me is X, Y, and Z. It's like, no, I'm not asking you what he thinks. I'm asking you what you think, right? Like, what is most valuable to you about you? I'm going to guess that what is most valuable to you about you connects you with a part of yourself that feels really honest and authentic. And that's the kind of energy that you want and you need right now across the board in your life and your situations. You need to be real with yourself about what is important to you, what you value, and what you want to prioritize. And you really want to be making choices that align you with those values. This is not a time to compromise on your values. If you feel really clear that something is important to you, then you want to invest in it. And that means your time, your money, your energy, your attention, your focus. If somebody wants something else and they're pulling you in a different direction and it feels like a compromise, it doesn't feel like, oh yeah, that's easy to include that too, but you're like, ooh, this is taking me away from what I actually value. I would say that that's something that you want to avoid right now. And it's super important for you to be taking care of what takes care of you. And what takes care of you very deeply has to do with what you care about, what you most care about. So that could sound convoluted. I feel like some people are going to hear that and go a million different directions. And you're like, well, what takes care of me is this other person, but they have different values than me. But it's like, that's not quite it. Because the thing that really takes care of you ultimately is your intentionality. It's like what you're investing in. That's what's taking care of you. So what do you want to take care of you? That's clear as mud. Make the meaning that's meaningful for you. Let me know in the comments if you could ascertain any meaning out of that at all. Let me see if there's anything else that I want to say about it or that makes sense to me right now. Okay, well, I'm just going to say that I feel like you're attractive at this time in Leo season or Libra season, and I feel like you can attract the resources that you need right now by focusing on what is important to you. Okay, so if you need more of something, be clear about what your values and priorities are. And this is a time that is calling for your focus. This is a time that is calling for hard work, diligence, consistency, and commitment. And your life is asking you to invest in what's important and valuable for you in a big picture. And so if that means that in the short term, you have to invest some time, money, attention, labor into something that is like, maybe not what you care about so much, but it's going to get you to the place that you really care about, that's okay. But just know what your intentions are, because the choices that you make right now have long-term consequences. Even small choices, they will turn into something in the future that is bigger than what you think it is right now. Okay? Okay. All right, Virgo. How shall we end this reading? Okay, what's coming to me is an invitation for you to imagine. Maybe you had one when you were little, maybe you still do. A friend, an imaginary friend, to move with you through this particular time. And if you were ever a person that had like, I'm forgetting what they're called right now, but you remember those little pets that you could feed like in the little, keychain game kind of thing. Or if you were a person that had a little stuffed animal or something that you carried around with you, or maybe you're a person that got a tattoo of it or something like that. I feel like some of you have a secret friend or an imaginary friend, or maybe you could just conjure one up right now and invite this guide to move with you through Libra season as like your own personal check-in friend for the decisions that you're making right now. And I'm going to say particularly for the decisions that have to do with investment, time, energy, attention, money, other kinds of material resources. When you are in a position where you're thinking about, do I want to do something or not? Do I want to put something into this or not? Check in with your friend. So this isn't so much an embodiment practice that we're going to do right now. It's an invitation for you to engage with some imaginative play, get an ally for yourself, allow this ally to be responsive to the part of you that is imaginative and playful, and be a good companion for you. Just try it out. If you're willing to try it out, Virgo, leave me a comment and let me know how it was for you. Does your imaginary friend follow you around? Can you check in with them when you're trying to decide if you want to have pizza or sushi for dinner? I don't know. It's silly. But I feel like some of you, like you need an ally right now, but you also really need that ally to be your own best guidance and inner wisdom. And this is one suggestion for how you might try to tune in with that. So that's what I have for you. I hope that any or all of this feels interesting, entertaining, and supportive. Virgo, I am wishing you all the best in Libra season and beyond. Bye for now. Hello again. Thanks for sticking with me. Your attention is so valuable, and I really appreciate you giving some of it to me. If you enjoyed the reading I just gave you and you're interested in working more deeply with your chart and current astrology, I want to let you know about a few things we have coming up here at Embodied Astrology. First off, if you're interested in working more with me, I would love to see you sometime in Somatic Space. This is my weekly virtual class where we practice sensing astrology through gentle healing movement, meditation, and visualization, and working with the current astrological influences in embodied ways so that we can be internally prepared to make the most of our opportunities and work skillfully with the challenges. The live online classes are every Monday from 8 to 9:30 a.m. Pacific, but you can always catch the recording anytime throughout the week if you can't attend live. You can drop into Somatic Space whenever you want to check it out, but if you sign up for one of our monthly memberships, you'll get access to the live weekly class along with a library archive of past class recordings and twice monthly chart reading study groups, which are great spaces for learning more about how to work with your natal chart through experiential embodied practice. Our study groups are facilitated by my colleague and Embodied Astrology's community coordinator, Alicia Malji. Alicia is also facilitating a 12-week cohort beginning on September 23rd, just 2 days into the beginning of Libra season, called At the Heart of Conflict. This is the second group of 5 12-week gatherings, which are taking place during Jupiter's transit in Cancer between June 2025 and June 2026. At Embodied Astrology, one of our primary intentions is to harness astrology to work with the needs of our times. And Jupiter's influence in Cancer is particularly well suited for exploring patterns of conflict with curiosity, care, and in community with others, which is what this series is dedicated to, and also what this Libra season's influences are definitely asking for. Then, starting on October 19th, Embodied Astrology has a very exciting opportunity, which we are so happy to extend to you, to work with Palestinian dancer and choreographer Saed Mansour in an all-levels exploratory movement practice called Dancing the Political. Saed's work is powerfully transformative, and as we leave Libra season and head into Scorpio's time, we'll be working with a Mercury retrograde and some big influences in the water element that really need us to look and feel deeply at the stories we're carrying that keep us locked in points of view where we cannot see beyond our own perspective. This practice and process is designed to bring you into the deepest heart of embodied interconnection, assisting you to claim your truth and experience while also expanding your felt sense awareness of what else is possible and present. I can't overstate how important it feels to me to be doing this kind of work at this time on Earth. So if you're a person who knows that change begins with you and you're committed to working for love, liberation, peace, and justice in the world, I hope you'll join us for this truly unique and special opportunity. If you're interested but unsure if you want to commit to the full series, join us for the intro session on October 19th when you can meet Saed and get a taste of the practice. If you know that this work is calling you, or if you feel compelled to join after the intro, we're hosting a 4-session series between November 17th and December 7th that will change your life in wonderful ways. For more information, check the link in the show notes or head to embodiedastrology.com where you can find Dancing the Political under the Events tab, along with information about everything else I just mentioned and a lot more. Lastly, if this work benefits you and you want to help me keep giving these monthly readings for free, please consider signing up for a recurring monthly donation. If every one of our listeners gave just $1 a month, we would cover 100% of our operating expenses and have funds freed up to offer you even more. Other great ways to support this work are to follow, subscribe, like, comment, sign up for our free newsletter, and send a horoscope to a friend. All right, thank you so much for sticking with me for these announcements. I am so happy to be part of your life and Libra season. I am wishing you all the best in this season and beyond.